The Family Chantel show. No one's gonna show up because nobody watches this show except for me. Hi. Lily, hi. Hello, JJ Video Reacts. Hi, Shannon Van. Okay, you know, I hope you're well. I did not go live yesterday, so here I am today. Oh my God, we're down to 7 people. You know what? I'm just going to get started. Kishana, hello. Amaya, hello. I'm drinking this something that I impulse purchased from Sprouts. It was $2 and some odd cents and not worth 1 penny of it. But we're going to drink it. This is our hydration for today. We're for this live. Ashley B, hello. Paige, hi, welcome. All right. Antoinette, hello. You guys buckle in. This is the Family Chantel. Let me get my notes up. We're just going to get started because, like I said, don't nobody watch the show but me and you. Okay? So it's fine. Just trying to support Black people. You feel me? Okay. Let's get to 2 minutes so that I can know where to timestamp it is. Let's timestamp it at 10 seconds. Thank you. 10 seconds. 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated. Welcome to my recap of The Family Chantel. This is season 4, episode 4, No Niños y No Niñas. All right, so if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Wah, and I do recaps of relationship reality television shows such as 90 Day Fiancé, Love After Lockup, Married at First Sight, and The Family Chantel. So if you are at all interested in that content, please go on ahead and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up because you're gonna have the hee hee ha ha's. So you might as well just like preemptively do a thumbs up, okay? Otherwise, I don't think I have any announcements to make. So let's jump right into the episode. All right. So we start off this episode with Chantel setting up a party and she asks for Pedro's help. So she has decided that they are going to do a housewarming party for their new home. And basically, the party is just her family. I'm ready for other members of Chantel's crew to be seen on the show. A, maybe they don't want to be on the show. B, maybe Matt Sharp or whoever is producing this does not want to pay her friends to be on the show. But truthfully, if we get Coraima almost every episode, I feel like we should get a friend of Chantel's. 1 or 2. I mean, somebody. Obed, I mean, somebody. Or his friends, like we got the one coworker situation or the couple of coworker situations we had a few episodes ago, and that was great. But it's like, if you're all going to throw a party, can I just have the party be more than just the nuclear family? Is it a party? Is it a party? Do you need balloons? Do you need a balloon arc and a table and 2 pitchers of sangria and all manner of accoutrement for your brother, your sister, and your parents? Do you need that? I don't know. Anyways, so Pedro doesn't want to do this. He pretends like he doesn't quite understand what a family gathering is. I'm sorry. He tries to pretend like he doesn't understand what a housewarming party is. And so he's like, baby, why do you do this? Why do you do this, baby? I don't understand. You know, this no need for, you know, just your parents and your brother, your sister, and I don't this river you coming and I don't understand, why we do this? Why we do this? And so she's like, well, being patient and explaining to him something that she doesn't need to explain to him, but she has to because I think she's trying to keep the peace. And she's like, can you cut up some fruit and put it in there? Can you help me do some stuff? And he's like, oh, I guess. Like, I don't know why they're coming, why you spend all this money on this when, it doesn't, they're going to bring gifts? Yes, they're going to bring gifts. Oh, okay. So maybe like a blender or something? Yes. Okay. They're going to bring that. Okay. Well, we're not in a good place right now. So I don't know why, I don't know why you have your family coming over, we're not happy right now. And she's like, well, can you please not bring up our problems in front of my family? And he's looking at her like, what do you mean? And she's like, I don't want my family to know that anything is wrong with us. So if you could just, keep our personal problems personal. And we're all like, Chantel, it has never been Pedro's fault that your family has gotten involved in y'all's business. That has never been something that Pedro has, pushed or participated in. It is all you. All you. You have that really close knit family. And I guess you just feel like you should tell them everything. Now, here's the truth. Low key jealous. I don't have this relationship with my parents to be telling them all of my business. If I got married, they would be the last people that I would tell what was going on in my household. However, I think I might tell my dad, but even then, he wouldn't be on my side. He wouldn't be on my side. So I don't know what it's like to have supportive parents, is basically what I'm saying. So, anyways, he doesn't understand why you want to fake for the family if they're not in a good place. Then we jumped to the Dominican Republic, and we have got what's her face? Nicole. Do I even talk about? Let me just talk about them in segments. Let's just get through the American side right now. Okay, so then we've got Pedro telling Chantel that he'll be on his best behavior. So he goes upstairs and he changes. He comes back down. He starts playing video games. Her parents come over. They walk in. Oh, hello. My hijo and my hija. That's Miss Karen. And she's like, I love what you've done to the place. It's so much space. And so then Chantel gives them some sangria, and Chantel tries to give Pedro credit for, setting up the party. And then when Mr. Thomas asked Pedro about like, hey, thanks for setting everything up, Pedro's like, I don't do this, Chantel did this. I didn't do this. And I'm like, Pedro, why wouldn't you just take credit for it? Like, I get why, but like, you're basically just letting them know that you didn't actually want them to come over. Why? Why was that necessary, sir? He sits on the couch. He doesn't get up and greet his parents, or his in-laws. So they know something is up. They feel the tension in the air, And so they start talking about niños and niñas, like when Chantel and Pedro are going to start having kids. And Pedro's like, no niños or niñas, no niños and niñas. Then we get a little confessional of Pedro saying, I want kids. Of course I want kids, but not with Chantel. Not right now. Chantel is not mentally prepared to have kids, nor emotionally prepared. And so until I feel like we're at that place in our relationship, it won't be something that I will be pursuing at this time. And it's really sad to hear, because 2 seasons ago, when she said she wasn't ready to have kids, he was like crying because he was like, you don't have kids with me? You don't have babies? You don't have my babies? And it's just like, now he is fed up. And here's the truth. I know that relationships and marriages go through ups and downs. And right now they're in a slump. And I don't think that Chantel is prepared for what that looks like. Because as I said in last recap, Chantel grew up with a father who adores his wife, adores her. Okay. Karen doesn't drive. Like, that in itself, any person who gets with someone who does not drive, you love that person. You do. Because it's a burden on you. You always have to be the person to drive wherever you go. And or you have to pay for them to get someone else to drive them around. Or they're on the bus and you don't want your loved one on the bus, unnecessarily. So it's like, we can tell that Thomas adores Karen. And I'm glad that these two found each other. And I'm glad that they have this relationship in which this man completely adores his wife. I'm just too complex of an individual to ever find somebody to adore me, because I think I would get on their nerves more than anything. Like, I truly wonder what Thomas and Karen talk about and how deep it goes. I just wonder. But anyways, it's that's what she's used to. So she doesn't understand a world where she just can't be whoever she is and have her husband adore her. Because I get why he's frustrated, right? We all get it, that he doesn't feel like he's with an equal partner. He feels like he wants her to step up when it comes to more household stuff. And he didn't bother her while she was in school and working. But now that she's just working, he is expecting her to have to step up, or to at least take over in the manner in which he's letting go. And next episode, he calls her lazy. And I mean, that hurt me, because that's the one thing I don't want anyone to ever say, is that I'm lazy. I truly don't even understand what being lazy means, because I beat myself up so much so that I'm not lazy that I have a hard time resting. And when I rest, I feel very guilty. Okay. So then Winter and River come over, and River has cut his hair, y'all. And the whole family is like, oh my God, River, oh my God, who are you? Apparently, River has had long curly hair his entire life. And he says that he was just time for a change. And I said, yes, yes. I mean, I love hair on men. I think the longer the better. And River is the only person that I'm like, oh no, cut it all off at all times. Like, he could do a little curl with like maybe some gel or whatever, like, I don't know, mousse, I don't know what they do, but like exponentially better looking with this haircut. I think he looks great. Okay, great. I love the white leather coat, I love it. So he was very handsome in this episode. And we talk a little bit about Mimosa. What's his name? Mosema. Anyways, the guy that Winter is talking to from Nigeria. And they ask her, how is it going with that? And she's like, well, it's not the same as it was. I bought him some cologne and I sent it to him because he had made mention of it. And I was like feeling kind of weird about doing that. I was feeling uncomfortable with doing it, but I figured I would do it. And then he asked me to help him buy a phone. And that's when I felt really uncomfortable. And like, I'm not going to do things that make me feel uncomfortable anymore. And I said, bravo to you, Winter, because that's a huge step to take. Like, when you think that if you do something kind for somebody, that it's going to go a long way and they're going to really think of you as being like a kind-hearted individual that they would like to spend the rest of their life with, you tend to put yourself and extend yourself in ways that you may not, or that, you may feel like you shouldn't have done so later on in your life. And I'm happy that she has recognized that. She says that since she's had the surgery, she's lost 15 pounds, and she never ever thought that she would ever be somebody who did the weight loss surgery. But now that she's here, she's happy about it. She's happy with all the progress she's made. And at some point, Chantel offers her some sangria, and she goes, oh no, I'm not supposed to drink. And she's like, oh no, it doesn't have that much alcohol in it. She's like, no, they told me not to drink for 3 months. And she's like, but it's just like, you can't have a little bit. And I was pissed. I was pissed at that, because I hate when I didn't drink. I hated when people would do that to me. Like, what is it that what is the mechanism or the trigger that pops off in someone's head to insist that someone else drink a drink or eat a food that they say they don't want? Especially alcohol, right? Because and if you don't know the person, and this is a different situation with Chantel and her sister, but the girl says, I can't have a drink. And it's like, there's this thing that I think people are like, oh, you can have a little bit. You can try some. Why? Trying some is not going to get the job done. So what is the point of drinking this thing if I don't want it? Just to make you feel comfortable? Like, what was it that, yeah, it's like, oh, you can't even drink a little bit. Like, you can't even have a glass of wine. People used to tell me, and I'm like, no, wine is actually the worst offender. I can't have any alcohol. Well, have you tried? Yes, idiot. I have tried. All of my life, in fact. In fact, whenever I'm out, I try a little bit of someone's drink, and every time I get a migraine. So if you could just respect the fact that I'm saying, no, I don't want anything. Like, listen, you have water. I will drink water. And then they're like, can I get you some juice? Like, no, I don't want juice. I'm not a baby. I'm gonna drink this water. Like, what's wrong with you? People are so weird with it. And I'm like, what if I were an actual alcoholic? What if I was an alcoholic? And I'm like, no, I'm good. And they're like, oh, you can't even have a little bit? Bitch, didn't I just tell you I was like, do I have to tell you I'm an alcoholic? Do I have to tell you that I'm an alcoholic for you to leave me alone and stop trying to push alcohol down my throat? It's very weird. It's very weird. So anyways, that's why I was a little annoyed, because I'm like, even if it wasn't a doctor's word, if Winter just said she didn't want alcohol because she's on a weight loss journey or whatever, why can't we just respect that? Oh, you can have a little bit. Why do I need to have a little bit? To make you feel more comfortable? And the question is, why does that make you feel more comfortable if I have a little bit of sangria? You'd think I can't relax on my own? Maybe she had like eaten an edible and she was good. Anyways, there's that. There's my little rant because that pisses me off. So then we have a moment where Karen tries to speak in Spanish, and it is just like, how do you say my? And Chantel's like, me. And she's like, mi hijos y mi esposo de amor contigo. Salud. I mean, it was just like all these words. It was hilarious. Hilarious. All these words you just kept trying to say. So then we have a little segment where Chantel is like, well, I know you don't want to have kids now. Well, she didn't say that, but she's like, we should think about having kids because once I get 35, I need to at least freeze my eggs because then I'll be a high risk pregnancy. And he's like, no, you can have a kid at 40, 39, 40. And she's like, no, it's a high risk pregnancy. And I don't even want to think of that. And I said, oh, Chantel, a high risk pregnancy. There are plenty of women who have kids 39 and 40, 38, 39, 40. And yes, they're high risk by like medical terms, like that rude ass geriatric pregnancy. But like, if your body is able to poop out a baby, then you should be able to poop out a baby and it shouldn't be deemed high, whatever. Ugh. So she was like, I don't even want to think of that. Oh my God. People need to stop shaming those of us who wait later on in life to have kids. They need to stop the shame. The shame is a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot of shame. But anyways, so she says that, and I'm like, yeah, girl, go ahead and get your eggs frozen. But if this man is choosing to not, I mean, like, as somebody who's like uber organized and or understands how children, like, I don't have a firsthand experience of kids, okay, because I don't have my own. But what I do have is a number of years of experience because I babysat a lot of kids. And when I tell you that I babysat them, I mean I babysat them. My mother did not babysit them. She did not do anything. She only came to yell at me if I were doing something, like never taught me how to do it, just was like critical of her 11-year-old holding a newborn. So like I have had to work with young infants since I was 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, like 16 all my life. And then more recently, my sister had a baby and I lived in the same house with that baby. So while I didn't have the same pressure of keeping a little human alive, I definitely had a huge role in his formative years. And I still like talk to him and hang out with him now. But when he was a baby, I had him like 3 days a week solo dolo. Like my dad was hovering around the periphery somewhere, but for the most part, he would just go off to the senior citizen center and I would just be at home with a 3-month-old or with a 4-month-old or with a 9-month-old, like whatever, just he and I hanging out. So like, I understand that you need to feed them and that poopy diapers and you need to chart all of that. And there's a certain amount for me of organization that I have when I'm dealing with children. Because it makes it easier if you're organized. It makes it easier if once they go to sleep, you like get the Pampers ready for the next day, you get the bottles ready for the next day, you wash the bottles and you do all this stuff. So like I get it from that perspective, right? So I feel somewhat prepared. Now, not fully prepared because I know things are going to knock me on my ass because it's going to be different once I have to actually like responsible for that child's livelihood. It changes. So I'm not saying I get it 100%, but I'm like, if Pedro has any kind of clue of what it takes to have a child, and he's looking at his wife and he's like, she can't even clean this house, or she can't even maintain X, Y, and Z, or she's not even responsible and doesn't think of this, like, how am I going to trust her with having a baby? Is her having a baby going to fall more on me to be the more, I don't know, disciplinarian, or the one who truly understands that you actually have to train your children, and like all this stuff? So I get it. He's probably feeling the brunt of it's going to be on him. And if he doesn't want to do it right now, he doesn't want to do it right now. Period. So then they start talking about whether or not Chantel sent gifts to Pedro when they first started dating. Because, like, that's a thing that happens when you're dating somebody out of the country. They don't necessarily, I mean, I have been asked for things, and it's never been like, oh, send me cologne or send me shoes or anything like that. It's in like, oh, I need help with my rent this month. And I'm like, if you ask me for this rent money and I send you this rent money, don't ask me for anything else ever again. And we're no longer dating. We're just friends. Like, that's what that comes down to. Unless my uncle was like, hey, send the person money and I'll pay you back, then I would do it. Did my uncle pay me back? No. But it's fine because I did it for my uncle. It was something I did for him. Sorry. I wiped off my lipstick. But like, so it happens, right? Because they truly don't understand that, like, money doesn't come easily in the States. And so she says that she sent him some like powder, some like muscle powder, I don't know what this stuff's called, protein powder, and that he kind of complained because it wasn't the bigger one. And so she's like, I did some little things, and so it wasn't that big of a deal, but never a phone. And Pedro's like, in fact, I get Chantel a new phone every year and she doesn't pay that bill. Excuse me. So I'm like, oh, so Pedro does pay for Chantel stuff. Like, if he pays her phone bill, like, that's one of his, monthly things that he takes care of those bills and stuff like that. I would say that she's being taken care of to a certain extent. I don't know what their finances are like, but if he is like, when he could, taking that bill from her, then I would applaud him for that. He's like, and I buy her a new phone every year. And she admitted, she's like, yeah, he does buy me a new phone every year. I just get a new phone every year. And her mother's like, Chantel, like, oh my God, a new phone every year. And she's like, yeah, he's like, yeah, she don't pay for that. She don't pay the bills for that. And I didn't like the way he had said it, but then this is what she says. Because I imagine maybe she didn't like the way he had said it either. She's like, well, I brought you to this country, so you need to show your wife some respect. And that's when I was like, and then that's when Pedro was like, okay, Winter, let's talk about Mimosa or whatever his name is. Like, okay, let's get back to Winter. Let's just get back onto Winter. I don't want to talk about this. And then he says, in his confessional, she told me not to bring up our problems. And then she went and brought it up. And then also, like, oh, you got me the green card. You brought me to the US to show you some respect. I don't show you respect right now. I don't love and adore you right now. I have to show you what kind of respect. You want me to bow at your feet? It was really a shitty thing to say. And it's something like I can honestly say that I would literally never say that to someone who I brought to the US. Because me bringing them to the US was not for them. It was for me. And I would be forever grateful. Unless they came here and did me absolutely dirty and wasted my money. That's the only time I think I would throw something back in someone's face. But even then, it was like, I was an adult who made an adult decision to spend the money to bring this person to the US. So me complaining about it or telling them that they should be grateful feels a little imperialistic and very American rude. And so I just was... damn it. It's like, every time that we get in good and we're feeling good about the Family Chantel, then they do something like xenophobic. And then I'm like, I can't support it. I mean, not that I don't love them, but I just can't support that. And it makes me mad that that's like a thing that happened. So what else happens? Chantel did send things. Pedro buys her a phone once a year. I brought you here. You should be grateful. And so then we have a scene where Miss Karen is talking about the fact that River has moved out. He has his own apartment. And so Chantel and her parents are in the car driving to that. And she says, quote, "When River left, it felt like hit the road, Jack. Don't let the doorknob hit you." When River left, it felt a little like hit the road, Jack. Don't let the doorknob hit you. Not with him leaving, but the way it made me feel. Like I miss him. It's like so basically what she was trying to say is that he was like, "Deuces, I'm out." Like he just told him he was out and he was out. Like period. Like he didn't like there wasn't any like, "Oh, farewell, I'm gonna miss you guys." Like she felt like it was kind of abrupt and she misses her baby boy. That's the last person to leave her house. And I don't know if Winter still lives there. Winter might have moved back in. But I mean, it's just like that's her baby. So that's how she feels, right? But it's just so funny the way she expresses herself. And Thomas is sitting next to her, just like, and I'm like, "You didn't hear what she just said? You can't be like, babe, it's hit the road, Jack." Like, those are two different thoughts. But anyways, it's just funny. So she's feeling a little ways about that. But then Chantel's in the car with her parents, and Thomas is like, felt like you all was having a little bit of a marital tiff. And I want you to know that you and Pedro can talk to us about marital issues if and when you need to. And I was like, I imagine that they would have advice, but I feel that the advice wouldn't be realistic because I think that Karen and Thomas have a very specific type of relationship that doesn't that like is only can only exist when two people are very equally yoked. Does that make sense? I don't know. I just feel like Karen and Thomas are very simple people. I just feel like they're simple people and like I just imagine not that everything is perfect in their marriage, but I imagine it's probably damn near. And that they've had to communicate to each other certain things, but I just don't know that the thoughts are that deep. I don't know that the emotional well is that deep. And I think that when you have people who are that who like okay, so let me give you an example. I don't feel like my parents are equally yoked. I feel like yeah, I don't feel like they're equally yoked. And I feel like most couples that I meet are not equally yoked. A lot of them I do meet are, where like intelligence wise and drive wise and like understanding of how the world works and how they are going to move through the world together works, like they can be equally yoked. But like, I think that like they're probably two people that are really meant for each other and they are probably a very good match. And how do you count when you are a very good match? How do you counsel people who don't necessarily like? How do you counsel people who are not necessarily the best match? If that makes sense. What does Linda say? Hi, Linda. Linda says, "Yeah, not sure if they have experience to give advice on marital problems." Yeah, and I hate to say that they probably don't have any, but that's what it gives to me. It gives like he honors her. Like that is how he has moved into this space to honor her. And she accepts that honor with grace and with humility. Like I don't think that Miss Karen is out there like spending aggressively. Like maybe she is on her hats and her boots. But I think that with the amount of love and attention and support that he's given her, I feel like she has equally given that back to him in other ways, like rearing their children, keeping a household in a certain way. Like I just feel like, and I feel like intelligence wise, they just like probably on the same page, understand the same things, super simple, like just like, they're in the same lane. Um, so Renee says it works so well because he's so easygoing that marriage would be a disarray if he was a type A personality. Yeah, like they're very much the same. Miriam, hello, welcome. Thank you, Barbara. Just got them done today. It's a new set. It's a new set. But anyways, and I don't mean that as a diss on them. I'm just saying like I've known couples like them where it's like you just want this person just wants this, and you're just here this together. If something else happens on top of that, then like good. But like one person isn't more ambitious than the other, leaving the other one in the dust. One person doesn't know more about life and survival and leaving the other person in the dust. Like it just feels like they're like he equally respects her and her opinion and what she has to say, and her the same. It's like just the same, right? I don't know. If you guys agree with me, let me know. I just don't think that they are the two people that are tug of war strife, and so that if overcome something to where they can give, because Pedro truly feels like he's worked the last 5 years, 12 hours a day. He has come home, he has prepared the house, he has done certain things to make sure that Chantel, who has both a job and going to school, has been comfortable and supported. And now the shoe has turned or whatever, and he truly feels like Chantel hasn't slipped into some role that he is expecting of her. Now, whether or not he's communicated to her what that role looks like and what it is, I don't know. But what I'm saying is like they're on different like wavelengths. Like I truly believe like I imagine that a lot of the times he's like, Pinky, come on. No, that doesn't make any sense, Pinky. No. And she's like, Pedro, I'm telling you. And he's like, no, Pinky, that doesn't make any sense. What are you saying that don't make any sense? Like, I feel like that is their relationship. Like, he's someone who's a little bit more, and she's probably like this. And so when you have somebody that's like this, and you have somebody like that that's like this person gets frustrated at this person. And I'm saying that because I've seen it growing up. Okay? The person who's more like, it always gets frustrated at the person that's like, what? What? You know? I don't know. That's just my experience. That's what I watched growing up. So, the next thing we have is Nicole Girl on this beauty pageant, which for whatever reason, is this national beauty? Is this like Miss America of the Dominican Republic? Is it? It feels a little low budget if it is. I mean, I don't know. It might not be, or it might be, and that's just what it looks like. Like, my question is like, out of the top 5, the one person who's going to go on, is that going to be the person who does Miss Universe? Like, is from those people, from the pageant that we watched with Nicole, whoever wins that pageant, is that person going to be Miss Dominican Republic and is then going to compete in Miss Universe? That's my question. Anyways, I was annoyed with this one because while I want, Nicole to have her reality TV dream, she always brings it back to Chantel. Like, if she wins this, F Chantel. What does it do with Chantel? I don't know. Maybe Chantel was in beauty pageants, and so they've had that conversations where Chantel is more the beauty pageant girl and has won beauty pageant. I don't know. But it just feels weird that you would harken back to a woman that you never even speak to. And again, the whole reason why you have this spinoff is because of Chantel. So put some respect on her name. So it was an interesting thing. She got top 10, but she didn't get top 5, and she was very upset and she started crying. And it's because her mother, when she lost, like made a face. And so she felt like she let down her family, and she was crying even when they did the confessional stuff. And then Lydia said some really like abhorrent things. And here's the truth. We all are not in the same place socially as a earth, as a planet. And she's going to say that the women who got picked over Nicole were basically fat. And they weren't. She's like, I've never seen them pick someone with such wide hips and butt. How could they pick somebody with such wide hips? And I said, ma'am, are you talking about the darker skinned Black person that they picked? Because I did peep who the top 5 was, and I was wondering if it was going to be diverse, and it was. I'm sorry, are you talking about the Black girl? Are you saying that the Black girl had a big butt and wide hips, and so how could they be Miss Dominican Republic? Wow, the anti-Blackness is just like literally popping up, and it's like crazy. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. Khadidra, hello. De La Rosa, hi. Welcome. Jojo baby. When Chantel was in school, she complained about the mess Pedro would keep in the living room of the apartment, and it was a mess. Barbara says Lydia is really nasty. I don't like to be mean, but she surely is. Nicole is a little too thin. I'm just saying, and that's the thing. Like, I wanted to low key, like, I was gonna say something about Nicole, but then I was like, that's body shaming her. Like, she can't help if she's that thin. Like, this is her natural being, and everybody comes in different shapes and sizes. And if I'm not gonna talk about somebody who's bigger, then why would I talk about somebody who's smaller? And like, so for me, I was gonna leave Nicole alone, but I'm like, am I feeling the way I feel about Nicole's body because of whatever the current US standards of beauty are right now? Or am I seeing this because like I'm a black woman and so for me like curves are a thing that I enjoy on anyone? Um but like I'm not going to shame somebody who doesn't have curves. Like that's not your fault. Like I was really skinny all of my life and I didn't think I had curves until I gained so much weight and now I'm trying to like figure out how to like balance both. But I'm like I'm not going to make anybody feel bad for that. Cuz it's neither here nor there. It's unimportant. And even in fact in the beauty pageant I was like there's nobody thick in this beauty pageant. Everybody's so skinny. But for Lydia to say that as though like that's the reason why her daughter didn't get it was why would okay, then it makes me go I would never put my kid, my female daughter in any kind of pageant that was really based on how wide their hips were. I love dance and I would love for my daughter to take ballet. But I am so scared of having a child that has like anorexia or body dysmorphia and then like does something crazy because like I have body dysmorphia. Like 100%. I mean, when I was 30 pounds ago, I thought I was too big. And I'm here now and I'm like, damn, I thought I was big then. I didn't appreciate my body then. And I'm here and I'm like, you could, around this middle section, you could get rid of some of this in the middle. But even then, I'm not super mad at the rest of my body. Like, I don't care anything about my arms. But I'm 30 pounds heavier. So I'm like, damn. When I watch old videos of mine from like 2018, I was like, oh my God, I could like snap a collarbone with how thin I was. You could see that decolletage was real. You know what I'm saying? These bones right here were real protruding. But anyways, I didn't like that Lydia said that. And I'm starting not to like Lydia. And I try to like her because I feel like she's a black woman raised in a time where being black wasn't cool. And so she like bleaches her skin and tries to like gear towards a different look than what she actually is. And I feel like some of that anti-blackness she gave to her children, which is why I was really excited when Pedro referred to himself as being black. Whew. You're welcome, Jasmine. I'm almost done. All right, so basically Nicole didn't win the beauty pageant. She was real sad about it and she was crying and shit. And then we've got a scene with Alejandro girl. And I was like, he's cute. His eyes are light. I like his eye color. I didn't realize they were so light. He's cute. And he shows up at her job and she's like, what are you doing here? So maybe she is truly done with him. Or maybe she has been secretly talking to him on the low and didn't expect him to pop up to cause drama. But drama is going to ensue. And I am not here for it because I don't care. All right. JJ Video Reacts says, Lydia and Nicole are both haters, and I'm tired of Nicole always pulling Chantel into something they have a common enemy because Pedro is dissing them both. Ooh, common enemy? Pedro's never the enemy. Ramsterdam's here. Hi. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Lucy. Lydia is kind of racist. Sorry, not sorry. It's not that she's racist, Amsterdam. It's internalized like anti-black. Because technically she is black. I mean, listen, I don't want to tell people who they are because they get some kind of way, but he's saying they're black. But anyways, that black lady, Lydia, is anti-black. And I'm pretty sure if you were to ask her if she's black, she'd probably say no, that she's Spanish. And then we would respond, where? We would respond, where? All right, you guys, that is the end of this video. That's the end of this recap. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can check out the Family Chantel on Monday nights, probably at 8. I don't know. Seeking Sister Wives is Monday nights at 10. But if you have Discovery Plus, then you can just watch it at any time on Monday. And I will recap it for you because I know not everybody has the time of day to sit around and listen to Chantel talk with her mandible jaw like she doesn't like open the mouth to speak. It feels like it's just kind of like I am super happy that she's comfortable with both of her parents, and she was comfortable always at every time telling them all of her business, and I'm happy for her with that. But I don't want them to divorce. Like, I want them to last forever, and I want them to have children, and I want to see that. I want to see the Family Chantel baby edition. I wanted to make all their little monies. Okay, so I'll rephrase about how common denominator both of them are yearning attention from him and they're not getting it. So, you know what I mean? Okay, I understand that. Have a great evening, Renee. Thank you, guys. Miriam says Lydia is bitter and nasty from Love Gone Wrong. Her cup is low and no one is trying to fill it up. So mean and snarky. Yeah. Yep. All right, y'all have a fantastic week. I will see you next week on Monday to talk about 90 Day Fiance. Have a oh wait. Are you guys going to be able to watch on the 4th of July? Maybe I'll go early on Sunday, or maybe I'll go like at 8 p.m. on Sunday, or I'll go early on the 4th. I don't know. Do I get paid time and a half if I do a live on the 4th? All right, y'all. Have a fantastic weekend. And remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.